Hey, we've got Austin Mayor Steve Adler live with us this morning via Zoom to talk about all things coronavirus. Mayor, can you hear me?
Casey, I can hear you well. Good
This
morning.
Zoom thing, man, this makes me so nervous. But we've got you. How are you this morning?
Yeah, we're doing well. Doing well this morning.
Good, good. Well, thanks for joining us. The last time you and I talked, we tapped elbows. We were in the same room together. Seems like an eternity ago, and I've been on paternity leave for 4 weeks. Catch me up. What's going on in Austin?
Not too much. It's pretty much where it was when you left. Not really. This whole world seems to change every 2 or 3 days. In the last 4 weeks, we had a community that really focused on the discipline required to really physically separate. Knowing that if we did that, we could stop the accelerated spread of this virus. All the signals are that we've done that in this town. I'm real proud of the people that live here. We're not out of the woods yet. We have to keep doing it. 2 or 3 significant clusters that break out could really set us back. We'll know more in the next week to 10 days. But at this point, we've been able to, looks like we're being able to accomplish what we had wanted to. The governor came out yesterday and started talking about adapting what we were doing as we move forward. The kinds of things that the governor talked about were things that are not inconsistent with what we've been doing here initially. He's talked about opening up state parks, as long as people wear face coverings and social distance by the 6 feet. Well, we already have our parks open with those rules here in Austin. He's talked about allowing more elective surgeries to happen at the hospitals. That's something that we were looking at as well, because our hospitals right now are being underutilized with like a 30–40% occupancy. So if we can and have enough personal protective equipment, that's certainly something that might work here. The governor talked about reopening more retail Friday of next week, but not going into any stores, just doing curbside delivery or delivery at home. That's something that we're doing with restaurants, and certainly there's a lot of retail delivery that's happening all over the city with Amazon packages of light. Okay. What I didn't hear the governor really flesh out, that I am really anxious and we need to hear, is kind of the back of the house that would enable any kind of adapting to happen. We need to make sure that we're giving thousands of tests every week, so that if we have any kind of spike, we can find it early. We need to put and make sure we have all the resources we need to do real contact tracing, so that if anybody does pass the infection, we find it real quickly, because we're doing thousands of tests. And then we have the contact tracing to make sure everybody that might have encountered that is identified and isolated, so that we can stop the virus from spreading. We need help at the state level to make sure that we can do that contact tracing across jurisdiction lines. A lot of people live in Williamson County, work in Austin. So we need help with the cross-jurisdictional pieces that really only the state can help with. We need to make sure that we can cocoon those most vulnerable, our nursing homes in the city, because there's some people that really should be separated from any kind of adaptive behavior in this city, because they're the most susceptible and going to be the hardest to be able to protect. The governor said that over the next 2 weeks he's going to be building out the answer to those questions, and we're going to hold him to that, because that's what's going to be required for us to dip our toe into changing behavior in the city and still keep us all safe. The governor has 4 physicians that he has on his steering group to help him with these kinds of questions. One of them is with Dell Medical School, and is the same person that's one of the architects of our testing and tracing plan. So I'm encouraged that he's in that group of 4 people. That way I know for sure that the governor's going to be hearing the same kind of information and data that we are.
Well, Mayor, we've got about 30, 40 seconds. Do you like the pace that the governor's going at? He's kind of taking things slow. Is that good for you or no?
Oh, it's real important that we take this slow. This community has worked way too hard for too long to really isolate this virus by isolating ourselves. We still have more work to do. We have to get greater discipline wearing the face covering in more places. We're doing it in grocery stores now. We need to be doing it whenever you're outside and around other people. Don't have to wear it when you jog. If you're jogging by yourself, if you're jogging with lots of other people around you, then you should. Of course, you ought to be able to jog without being around people. But the pace we need is one that has to be slow. And there has to be an agreement in the community that if we try something and we overstep and go too far, and we can hit some objective measures that we've decided ahead of time, that we'll pull back and come back to right where we are right now.
All right, Mayor. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad Zoom
Sure,
finally
Casey.
worked. I'm about to pass out up here. Zoom,
How's the new
man.
family?
This is good. I got a healthy baby boy. His name's Carson. Named him after Johnny Carson. Thanks for asking.
It'll be great stories.
Definitely. Definitely. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it.
Okay,
Stay safe
Casey,
out
take
there.
care.